Hello, Gabriel, and welcome to Fuji Educates. Hello, guys. I believe that during this call you will be arrive much more because currently it's only 24 people, but usually more people arrive during the call. So, Gabriel, welcome. Exactly, finance
Do you have
and
questions? How you want to manage the conversation?
yeah. So basically, uh, I have some questions prepared in advance, and I want to proceed with these questions. And also, at the end of this interview, because it's not classic AMA, it's like most like interview, our community will ask some questions via special dedicated channel. It calls AMA questions on the left side of the column, and I think we can start. So, Gabriel, please introduce yourself, your experience in crypto, how you found your way, how you found your way into crypto, and probably like what do you want to we want to
Guys,
know.
are you there?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Hey. Hey. Hey, guys. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Gabriel. If you hear me, you are muted.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Do you have questions? Let's start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Let's kick it off.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So, I don't know. Did you hear my question, or I should repeat?
How do you want to manage this conversation? You want to ask me questions? I want to talk in general. What is exactly?
Yes. Yes. So I have prepared questions in advance. So basically, let's start with these questions, and after the end of our conversation, our community will proceed with questions via dedicated Discord channel. So first, I want to ask you, introduce yourself, how you found your way to into crypto, and your experience in crypto probably, and what do you want to we know about you like generally. So please, microphone is yours.
Hey, Gabriel.
Yes.
Did you hear the question of Prague Brewer?
No, I'm not hearing.
Oh, you didn't hear him?
No, I cannot hear him.
Oh, okay. Because I okay. Let's then. I'm going to repeat his question. Yeah, it was yeah. First, as please introduce yourself. How did you get into crypto? Yeah, some general information about yourself that you want us to know about you. Yeah, this was the question.
Okay. Perfect. Yes, I can hear you, but I cannot hear Preg. So yes, I'm Gabriel. I was born in Argentina, so I have a lot of experience dealing with volatility and interesting stuff from the government. Different exchange rates, inflation, deflation, everything you can imagine. I study economics at the University of Buenos Aires. Then I work in traditional finance for a while in the Central Bank of Argentina in asset management. I did some value at risk models. And then I changed my mind and I start my career as an entrepreneur, and I co-founded three startups. Exactly, Protocol is the last one. It's the first one in Web3, and that happened 2 years ago. So long story short, we want to connect DeFi with the end consumer, and in order to do that, we think that one of the ingredients that is missing today is the fixed rate part, because the end consumer will not borrow money on a variable rate basis. Define it like in every 14 seconds, you will have a different rate. So we thought that one thing that we need to work on was the fixed rate part. Then we add the variable rate part, and we launch on Ethereum. Then we launch on Optimism. So yeah, we are now on Optimism. We are growing, and we have a lot of things to continue launching in the next few months. And basically, then the end goal is to, again, connect DeFi to the consumer and be the back end of every possible fintech company, crypto wallet, custodial, non-custodial. So we think that we can create a decentralized market for lending and borrowing with variable rates and with fixed rates as well.
Thank you. Yeah. We had for your information, we also have a team member from Argentina. So yeah, we know from firsthand about the quote unquote the volatility issues you guys are having. Great. Thank you, Gabriel, for this introduction. Maybe you touched a bit about exactly protocol. Can you tell us more about the exactly protocol? What specific problems in crypto it aims to solve? How it differentiates from other competitors in the fixed lending precisely?
Yeah, sure. So as you may know, most of the liquidity in borrower lending, it's on the variable rate protocols. There is around $10 billion in TVL in borrower lending protocols. Most of it, like let's say 90% of that, it's on variable rate. So far there's no protocol that can get liquidity at a fixed rate basis. And basically, we think that that's because the way that these fixed rate protocols try to solve the problem, has a lot of challenges to make that happen. Basically, most of the fixed rate protocols try to discover the fixed rate based on the price of multiple tokens that have an expiration date. So that creates a challenge for the liquidity, because then you need to provide a special AMM to trade those tokens, and then you get the maturity date, so you need to move from one token to the next token. So it's a challenge. There are many things that you need to solve in order to discover the fixed rate based on the price of the maturity token on a way that makes sense from a liquidity point of view. So we thought a different way of solving this problem. So we took the idea of a compound and then Aave, where basically they are discovering the variable rate based on the utilization of one pool per asset. So depending on the utilization rate of that pool, then you have a different variable interest rate. It's a linear model with a kick at around 80%. So they make the interest rate go higher when there is low liquidity. And that's basically how it works. So we took that idea and then we start thinking about how to use the same idea also for fixed rate. And that's basically how we started. And how it works, it's quite simple. We have the variable rate pool, let's say for USDC, where people can deposit and borrow USDC, similar to other variable rate protocols. But here there is a difference because we also have fixed rate pools. And this is something that we invented. And the idea of the fixed rate pool is a pool that is for 4 weeks. So at the moment we have 6 different fixed rate pools up to 6 months around that time frame. So we have a yield curve, and basically you can deposit and borrow money on those pools, and the rate will be discovered based on the utilization rate of each of these pools. So the liquidity is around the protocol for variable rate and for fixed rate, and the interest rate, it's always discovered looking at the utilization rate of the variable rate pool or the different fixed rate pools. This is basically how it works. So if you want to take, let's say you want to borrow money on a fixed rate basis, you choose the asset, you choose the maturity of that fixed rate pool, and then you input the amount of money you want to borrow. Of course, in order to borrow, you need to deposit previously a collateral on the variable rate pool. That's going to be your basically your collateral for that borrow. And then when you want to borrow money from the fixed rate pool, at the beginning, the money will come from the liquidity providers of that variable rate pool. So the variable rate pool is providing the initial liquidity to create that borrow. And then after the borrow exists, we know that we're going to receive, the protocol will receive X amount of interest rate fees for that fixed rate borrow. So at that moment, we allowed any user to deposit fixed, and if there is a fixed rate depositor, that money will go back to the variable rate pool. We'll get a commission, and in that way we can basically, make sure that the supply and demand of fixed rate are there. Otherwise, it's difficult to put together supply and demand on a fixed rate basis. So we created this framework, and the variable rate is like the liquidity provider of the initial loans in the fixed rate pool.
Gotcha. Okay, just to maybe to sum up, the exactly protocol you based you are basing your product on like money markets as Aave or Compound, but you're introducing some innovative features enabling to propose very competitive fixed rate loans or fixed rate like lending opportunities. Did I like really sum it up correctly?
Yeah, so important to mention that we are not a fork of Compound or Aave, or we are not using Compound or Aave in any way. We have our own marketplace. So basically, we took the idea of discovering the variable and the fixed rate, looking at different utilization rates, and this is the new part. So we have a variable rate pool, and we invented this idea of fixed rate pool. So looking at utilization rates, we can give you the rate in the same protocol. So we have variable rates and fixed rate in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, and what are the main users that you target, and the value proposition for these like different players in this system?
Yeah, so now we have most of the users are DeFi degens or traders trying to make different opportunities using the protocol. We have also OP rewards at the moment, so people also are taking advantage of that. But basically, you can deposit on the variable rate pool, and then you can borrow fixed, so you know how much money you have to pay for that borrow, and that's, I think, an advantage, because you borrow money on a fixed rate basis, and then with that money you can make whatever you want. You can buy something, or you can buy a token and leverage your position. So we can give you a hedge of the interest rate risk in a very simple way. So that's basically one of the use cases. There are people that just deposit. There are people that are depositing and borrowing the same asset, cross asset. We now have also stake ETH, so you can also take advantage of that. So I think there are many trading ideas and opportunities with the protocol, and also you can try to see if there is opportunities for trading and making sure that if there is an opportunity, you can deposit and borrow, probably arbitrage a position on one of these pools. So I think there are many use cases at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. At the moment, can you share with us, like, for example, what is the ratio between people that are preferring variable interest rates versus like fixed taking loans in fixed terms?
Yeah, sure. So depending on the asset, in total we have now around $40 million in borrows. Half of that it's on USDC. So if you look at USDC, we have 20 million in borrows on a variable rate and around 8 million in borrows on the fixed rate. So variable rate it's bigger than fixed rate, but fixed rate is growing very rapidly. So we think that we can have a very interesting market for the fixed rate. And the idea is to create a yield curve for all these assets. So if you want to borrow on 6-month period, what is the rate for that, or if you want to deposit on a fixed rate for 6 months on USDC, what is the rate for that. So we are creating a market, and we are growing the community, growing the liquidity, and it's a process that started this year, and I think we are in the right track.
Awesome. Yeah. What about integrations? Like, yeah, because we at Fuji we are actively looking to integrate with as many lending venues as we can. Of course, currently many of the money markets are either AVE forks or compound V2 forks. But yeah, we are super excited to see other types, more innovative types of lending markets that we are looking to integrate. Are you looking for such opportunities?
Yeah, sure. So we have a special section in our docs called partnerships. We are working with, I think, a lot of projects at the moment. We have a dashboard showing all the potential liquidation of all the positions and the risk that all the users are taking. We give a grant to the guys from Antias protocol. We have an integration with Beefy Finance. They created a vault for USDC and another one for ETH. We have a partnership with Beethoven X. Of course, we are on DeFi Llama. We have also scoring from DeFi Safety. We have Dion Analytics. We have different insurance protocols. We have a special dashboard in Nansen, and of course in Zapper. So yeah, we are integrating the protocol and making partnerships with all the different protocols that want to connect with us. So yes, it's something that we're looking forward, and we are working on a daily basis.
Awesome. Yeah. We are we are our heads down right now in preparing our public launch in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we are going to explore how we can integrate more more lending venues after that. So yeah, looking forward to it. Now maybe let's talk about a bit the team behind exactly. Can you tell us more about the team? What's how many? What's their background? Also about your backers, your investors. Who are they?
Yeah. So we are 13 people at the moment. Most of us in Latin America. In Argentina, in Brazil, in Uruguay. Most of the team is engineers and Solidity developers. We have also someone in the team that study physics and have a master in mathematics. I study economics, so we have mostly a technical team, but we have some flavor of math and finance as well. So yeah, that's the team. We have a front-end team, we have a Solidity team, we have operation, risk management, so it's a very, I think, very interesting squad of people working together. And then we have investors coming from different places. We have traditional investors, VCs, some of them from Web2, like Kazakh Ventures, which is the biggest VC in Latin America with around $3 billion in assets. We have some crypto founders like Ken Warwick from Synthetics, Ethan Ordano from the Decentraland, the guys from Sandbox. So we have a mix of investors from Web2 and Web3. So that's basically, we raised 2 rounds, in total $5 million. So we have a good runway going forward. And the next few months, we're gonna continue going on the centralization path. And the next big thing is to launch the DAO and give participation to the community as well. So that's on what we are doing, what we are working at the moment.
Awesome, yeah, that's transitioning greatly to my next question is about what kind, do you run any community programs, how people can get engaged in some community tasks? If you can also share some alpha, I think you already did, but if you can go into more details, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So we are, trying to manage the community through Discord. We have a channel in Discord of Exactly Protocol. We have, of course, a Twitter account verified. We have a Telegram, but I think most of the community is on Discord at the moment. So if you have any questions, any ideas, there are different channels for partnerships, for grants. So far, we are using our own funds. So far, we only provide one grant for the Antias team to create this dashboard for risk management. But as soon as we have the DAO, we're gonna provide also grants in our own token. So the participation is gonna be more interesting than today. Today we have a Discord channel where you can ask questions and have ideas for us. But all this process is gonna be even better in the next few months. So yeah, looking forward to that to happen. And we are very happy. We have around 20,000 unique wallets in the protocol. We don't know who they are, those people, but there are a lot of activity on the website, on the web app, on Discord, on the smart contract. So all the numbers are growing, and we are very happy. Of course, this is day one for us. We need to continue working, and we launched this year on Optimism on March. We launched on Mainnet on November of last year, so it's less than a year of being on chain. But yeah, we are learning from our users. We are also developing new functionalities based on the feedback we have. A few weeks ago, we launched a rollover function. So basically, if you have a borrow fix, you don't need to do everything manually. You can roll over in one transaction to the next fixed rate pool, or you can roll over to the variable rate position in one transaction. And we are using permits to do that. And probably in the next few days, we're gonna launch another interesting functionality that the people were asking. So yeah, we are basically working on new functionality based on product market fit and hearing the users, and at the same time we are working on this decentralization path to allow people to be part of the governance of the protocol very soon.
Awesome, great. Thank you for the all this information. I think like people, you guys from who are listening, if you have any questions, please ask them in the dedicated channels, in the dedicated channel. Prague.
Do you hear me? Okay, yeah, like.
I can hear you, but I think Gabriel, has some difficulties with hearing you.
Yeah, because actually,
I can hear only Bob.
Yeah, it's strange because everyone can hear me except Gabriel. Like, it's really strange. Okay, but yeah, I want to ask you, like not you, but just like retranslate my question to Gabriel. So how exactly incentivize main actors?
So Bob, I can hear you, but I cannot hear Prague.
Right now maybe I have to play the bridge. So he's asking right now the question, and I'm going to transmit it to you in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So question is, how exactly protocol incentivize main actors, lenders, borrowers to participate in the protocol? It's only fixed rates, like the best possible rates on the market, or you have a lock drop program, like token farming program, or something like that?
Yeah, the question is, how are you incentivizing different actors to use the protocol at the moment? If you do so, and what plans do you have? Maybe I will extend a bit the question. What plans would you have in the future to do so?
Yeah, so the protocol itself, I think it's a very interesting product because you can do different arbitrage between different fixed rate, or you can deposit variable and take a borrow and fix different assets. There are many things to do with the protocol itself. Then at the moment we have also OP rewards, so you can get advantage of that. and make more money, or if you want to borrow money, you can do it at a lower APR. And then yes, in the next few months, probably when we get to the DAO phase of the protocol, there's going to be also a token, so there's going to be interesting stuff to do with that. But that's something that's not public yet, but yeah, that's the next step for us. So at the moment, you can use the protocol in different ways to hedge the interest rate risk, to arbitrage different fixed rate positions, or just to deposit money on the fixed rate pool or the variable rate pool. So it's a lot of things you can do with the product itself. Then you can take advantage of the OP rewards. And then coming soon, you will have also more rewards coming from our own token. So that's something that we're going to provide more information very soon, but that's something that we are working at the moment. So we think that with those new things, we're going to get more liquidity and more users, and the decentralized of the governance, which is at the end of the day the goal of all this, and to provide also new functionality to the users, so they can use the protocol and, for example, in one transaction, create a leverage position or deleverage the position, the same asset, cross asset. So all the things that the people are telling us that they need a lot of transactions. The idea is to have one special tool for doing all this, and that's something also that we are working at the moment. So long story short, we are working on functionality that people are willing to use based on product market fit that we had since we launched, and we are working on all the different steps to decentralize the governance, including the DAO, including the token, and all the mechanisms to make sure that this works very well.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Prag, do you have any more questions?
Yes. I have a question regarding decentralized finance generally. So my question is, what are the most interesting issues for the development of DeFi? You think will be like overhyped next cycle, or maybe currently?
Yeah, the question was like about more like your vision about the next cycle. What will be the most exciting about DeFi? What interesting things you are seeing that been developing right now and that will be like really hyped when the hype comes back?
Yeah. I think we are in the first phase of DeFi. So far, we have a DeFi summer for a few, 1,000 people. I don't know how many people, were in the DeFi summer, but it's probably, let's say, less than 1 million people. And you have 8 billion people in the world. So I think the next stage for DeFi is to first have scalability problems solved. And I think with L2 solutions, we have that on check. Of course, we are in the first. It's a little bit early to make sure that all these L2 solutions are fully decentralized, but I think we are in the right path. So we are using Optimism, and it works great. The transaction costs are a few cents per transaction, so we are very happy with that. In terms of user experience, there is account abstractions. There are many new non-custodial wallets that are launching. So I think on that front also we are seeing very interesting new ideas. So we have, I think in the next, 12 to 18 months, the scalability issue will be solved, the UX issue will be solved, and then the next thing is the, let's say, legal framework in some countries like the US that it's not clear yet. I think also it's going to be solved. So I'm very bullish. I think that DeFi is going to be the back end of all traditional finance at one point, because it's a better technology than traditional finance. It's open source. It's very clear for the end user what's going on, where the yield is coming. So it's a better product. So I think in the next, 12 to 18 months, we're going to start seeing like many different traditional finance or centralized companies, Coinbase, even Binance, and many others will start, having their own non-custodial wallets. They're starting to build on, for example, on Optimism. So at one point, DeFi is going to be the back end, and then on the front end, you will have like different applications. Some of them will going to be centralized, some of them will be decentralized. But the thing is how you can get to the end consumer. And of course, that's going to take, I don't know, more than 18 months, but at least we are in the right path. And all these, scalability problems, UX problems, I think we are, as a community, solving those problems very fast. And, we're going to see more adoption coming soon.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think we all share this this vision, and fingers crossed this timeline to to be the one that will happen. Things will happen at the end. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, maybe just a quick question. You mentioned you are deployed on Optimism. Users on Optimism can enjoy some OP rewards. You are deployed also on Ethereum. What other plans on what other chains are you do you have?
Yeah, so we are on Optimism. We receive a grant from the Optimism Foundation, so we are very happy working with Optimism, with the foundation, with OP Labs, with the community. So we plan to stay in Optimism. I think this idea of the super chain makes sense, and to concentrate the liquidity in one L2 also, it's a great idea, I think. And then we are doing some research on some solutions like Socket, for example, that allows to have like multi-chain cross-chain multi-asset. So basically you can have all the liquidity in one L2, and then using a socket you can go to another L2 and move one asset to another asset. So I think it's very, very interesting. We are trying to understand the best solution for that, but I think staying in Optimism for a while, it's the path. And then of course looking at the market, different L2s, but we are very happy on Optimism, and we are reviewing the solutions like Socket for having multi-chain, that converting our app into a multi-chain app, and of course having multiple assets, even if we don't have all these assets in the protocol. But with this new technology, we can allow the user to work with any chain, with any asset, and use exactly again as the marketplace for depositing and borrowing money in a very simple way.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you, Gabriel. I think we are running already for more than 40 minutes. Prag, do you want to say or to ask more questions, or to announce something?
No, I want to remind our audience to take screenshot currently, because if you want to be eligible to mint Fuji Educate Series 10 NFT, you should provide screenshot, and I will open Google form after the AMA session. So I have probably only one last question. What Gabriel thinks about ZK rollups, not optimistic rollups, but mostly like zero knowledge proof, like ZK Sync, etc. So generally, is he believe in this technology, and like something like that?
Okay, yeah. So Gabriel, the last question from Prague is about ZK rollups. Like we hear that you are a fan of the optimistic rollups, but what's your point? What your how you are seeing the ZK technology and the ZK rollups?
Yeah, I think ZK it's amazing, and I think like part of the OP stack will include ZK proofs as well. So we will have like Optimism proof and ZK proof in the same OP stack. I think that's something super interesting that Optimism is working on. And then of course you have a ZK Sync, you have a ZK EVM from Polygon. So Yeah, again, L2, I think it's moving very fast. So let's see which are the best solutions in terms of scalability, security, decentralization. I think all these solutions are in the first, are growing fast, are small at the moment, but growing fast. And, one of them or some of them will be the ones that concentrate the liquidity. It's difficult to know which one is going to be, but yeah, we are very, very bullish on most of them because are amazing teams, amazing technologies. The most important factor is that the transaction cost is getting to probably 1 cent very soon, and that's the key factor in order to connect DeFi with end consumer. So yeah, we think that ZK it's amazing and it's going to be the future. So far, we are happy with optimism, and probably the OP stack will include ZK groups as well. So let's see what's going to happen in the next few months about that.
All right, I think great. Thank you. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. Yeah, thank you, Gabriel, for being the guest speaker at our Fuji Educates. It's the episode 10. Thank you a lot for being our guest and for answering our questions. It was a pleasure for us to hear about your perspective, to hear about more about exactly protocol and what your guys are building. Really excited about the future. And yeah, thank you all the people in the audience for listening this 10th episode. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, see you in a month.
Thank you very much to all the audience. Thank you very much to all the Fuji team for the invite. Let's keep in touch and let's work together.
Yeah, sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was great, even with some technical problems. It was really interesting. So, guys, thank you everyone, and maybe in 15-20 minutes I will open Google form, and you should fulfill it with your screenshots. So, really appreciate your time. Really appreciate to Gabriel. So, we are ready to finish. Thank you very much, guys, and have a nice day or evening. Bye.